Hello ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning back to my channel. Like always, it's great to have you guys back with me because without you guys, probably wouldn't do any of these videos. It's been a little while because I haven't had a chance to go out and shoot this gun. Yes, I was kind of scared to put my face close to where it explodes because I didn't know if it was going to explode on me or explode out and come out the other end.
Whoa!
Everything went well. I'm here with you in the flesh. See, I'm real. I want to talk to you guys about my build. My first build, my first AR, and also what that maybe stay away from if you're going to build one of these, and if you have one of these already, maybe you should stay away from these that I bought. I have some do's and some don'ts, and then stuff that you really need if you're going to build one of these. So here we go. So the first thing I want to kind of start off with is do nots. Like, do not purchase these items. Also kind of like stuff to maybe not use. Okay, so the first thing that I have is they say when you're breaking these guys in, they need oil. You need to keep them lubed up. Don't get funky on me. No, you need to keep them lubed up. So the first thing they told me to stay away from was the rim oil spray. Like this, it's not very good for this gun. Instead, I got a magic compartment down here. It's great. Get the the Hobby's gun oil, or just stay away from aerosol. Not rim oil, but just any aerosol in general. You get better coverage in it, actually, and they're more direct. So that's a kind of a must. I didn't have this set up at first, the sights, the pop-up iron sights here. I had a red dot, which I thought was great. In all actuality, that red dot there was terrible because I shot at 75 yards and it turned the whole target into a red dot. There's no aiming involved, it's basically shoot it. The first shot I had, my buddy was a cameraman, and he's terrible at taking any kind of video, any kind of anything. There's a lot of oil in there, dude. But this was a made in China red dot sight. It comes with Allen wrenches, which is great. It comes with Allen wrenches. You kind of need that, I guess, if you're gonna mount it. So the mounting, see, the Allen wrenches are right here inside. Oh, yeah, there's two in there. So just in case you lose one, you got another. Because you really need that. This is why you really, really need it. So if you look closely, right, it's pretty neat. Pretty nice little setup here. Oh, what's that right there? Oh, what's this on top, you say? What's this? What's this guy here? Well, if you take those off, they are, of course, you probably know. When you're trying to zero this guy in and you don't have a flathead screwdriver, which that box doesn't come with, well, why do you need, okay, so why do you need these? Well, to adjust, if it'll focus, to adjust the actual laser. That's what these two are for. Now, it's not to connect to the gun because it has a quick connect that sits on the rail. Crazy. Made in China, 80 bucks, and it's not worth it. So it comes in a nice little box though, and it's gonna go right back into this nice little box. I actually tried to put this on my a couple of my little handguns. You know, it's more practical on a handgun than it would be on an AR, but that's one to stay away from. Made in China by Vism, or whatever you want to call them. So, okay, let me get my little receipt here. I'm gonna buy a red dot 2 to 3 zoom scope from a local place, and it's about $100. So add $20 to the bill and take this guy out. The next one that you should stay away from, I thought they were good, and then I got this and it was not good. Not good at all. I thought it was maybe because like I'm throwing oil all over the place, you know, to keep this thing from like exploding, or the barrel, I don't know how they're coming off, or just exploding the lower and upper receiver apart, you know. So I was like, well, maybe it's the oil. And after looking at it, it wasn't. I thought this was cool. It was 40 round instead of a 30 round. So like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get this. Like, why not? Kind of looks kind of neat too, but this is by ProMag, and it's called a roller mag. I thought ProMag was, I've dealt with ProMag I thought before, and they seem, you know, good and legit, so here we go. Here's the funny part about it. So I loaded it in the gun, it had a misfeed. So threw it back, charging handle, it ejected the round, worked fine. I got one to go in, it actually shot, and then it jammed again. So I was like, okay, well, I've had this thing for like 6 minutes in the gun, loaded. After finagling and trying to figure out what it was, thinking it was something about the build, because it was the first thing I used when I actually shot it the first time, was this magazine. I have other ones, but I use that one. So I was like, well, maybe it's something else. I'm looking around, I couldn't figure out what it was. Come to find out, it was the way it was loading inside the gun from the magazine. So I was like, okay, that's kind of strange. I took it out and looked at it. There's no oil around the top of the magazine. So it's like, maybe I got a bad one. So or maybe my build's messed up. I don't know. So I grabbed the other magazine I had, and it worked just fine. Brand new as well, and it dispersed all 30 rounds, no problem. This one, I think I might have got 10 rounds out of it. Here is a funny fact for you. This is at Academy, right? I think it was $18. Our magazines are built with chrome silicone anti-fatigue springs, which is great. That's a huge thumbs up to you guys. Yes. That will keep you at the ready to throw it away. Load them up, stash them away up to 6 years without worry. Right there on the back, without worry. Load them up and stash them away for up to 6 years. Let me tell you something about that. I had it for a hot 6 minutes, and if I didn't have any ammo in it, I'd have thrown it down range, because it's the only place it deserves to be is in a trash can. This is hot garbage, along with that red dot. Hot garbage. Stay away from these. These are garbage. My $10 magazine that I got was actually better. Now, the rim oil, stay away from. So these are things that I found out you need to stay away from. Now, if you are going to build, I would strongly recommend hooking up with a professional, maybe a dealer if you don't know of a professional. I'm not talking about a friend, because friends can lead you to do some strange things or buy the wrong parts. Like for instance, this is a 5.56 naval barrel. I was talking to one of my friends, and they said, no, get the 223, you can shoot 223 and 5.56. Actually, it's backwards. 5.56 delivers more energy down the barrel, so you need a 5.56 barrel because it can handle the 223, which is not as energized round as the 5.56 is. Now, if you are going to build one of these, I had no problems with a pair of pliers and a rubber mallet, which I tell you, it was. If someone was sitting back watching me build that, it was probably excruciating to them, like my video was. I got this from Academy. It's the Roll Punch pin set, and it is a lifesaver. Now, what I say is a lifesaver is that it's got all the pins, right? And it's got the little nylon/brass hammer in it. It's also got a little push for the pins. I didn't use that. But I was able to use the pliers up to the gas block/gas tube. installing that was a pain in the ass. And what this gun's resting on is an AR-15 build block. See, it's got all the little divots in it and stuff like that. There you go. It's got all the divots, and it's set perfectly. That little block set perfectly in there. So I would have to say that the necessity to, when you make a build or doing a build, is this block and this roll punch set is a high necessity when you are trying to build one of these. I'll tell you, it took me forever, and it was frustrating because, it was frustrating because I kept dropping the pin, dropping the springs, setting them up, hitting the rubber hammer or the rubber mallet, and them sticking in the rubber mallet, trying to rip it out of the rubber mallet, and then losing it again because I had no luck. I just lost everything. I about lost my mind. I think I actually went out and had a beer or two and said, F you to this, because I just couldn't do it. But after getting that set, finding out which pin it was that I needed to hold it in place to knock that gas tube in, the gas block, gas tube all together, it literally took me like 10 minutes to find everything, get it all together. I had to go back through the firearm and look and see where the pins were not set just right and go back and hit them in. And man, it was so simple with this. And everybody that has built one before with just a pair of pliers, man, kudos to you guys and gals, because that's a pain in the ass. I'll admit it. This is $30, and it saved me probably 5 hours. I'm honest. It was a lifesaver. Now, moving forward, if you noticed my last video, I did an upgrade to the firearm. I replaced the buffer tube or buttstock extension. I replaced the charging handle. I replaced the trigger guard. I replaced the magazine extension. I replaced the breakdowns and the forward assist, all with little blue pieces, right? That cost $170. I wanted it to kind of stand out. You can't really get a good idea here of how good it looks, but you know what? My next build, I got the pieces. I'm good to go. So, as far as breaking it down, the trigger pull on it was actually very good. I've shot a couple before, and it seemed like the trigger pull on this one was like so much better. I don't know why, but there's a lady there, I'm not going to name the company, that she got hers built by, or her trigger it seemed like it had more pull and it had a little more slop in it than this one. I don't know if it was a manufacturer that machined all that, or if it was the builder that built it all up. I think I want to take credit to, just saying. So these pop-up sights actually were way better than this red dot. If you're gonna get, I would strongly recommend, like I was going back to what I said earlier, strongly recommend getting professional assistance when trying to build one of these, because you can kind of mess up and say, not knowing what you're doing, go out and get a gas block or like a muzzle brake, getting it in like a 223 round instead of a 5.56 makes a little difference. It makes a big difference. You got to get everything coordinated. The barrel 5.56, the gas block 5.56, the muzzle brake 5.56, or the muzzle flash, whatever you want to call it. Then you have to have certain specs that torque down the we're falling over. To tighten down the barrel nut, the castle nut, and the muzzle flash. They got to be tightened at certain specs. So I think I had no idea, and I was ratcheting down on the barrel, and the guy told me, I took it in for a final inspection before I went to shoot it, and he was like, "Hey, what torque did you use?" I was like, "Huh? Come again?" I'ma say this. There's torques. He's like, "Yeah, there's torque specs on this, dude. I don't want it blowing up on you." I was like, I put it snug, like I don't know. So I went back and he checked it out, and I actually put it at 80. Right before I left 357 Arms, he was like, "Hey, make sure you douse this thing in oil. You want it well lubricated. That way it doesn't have any, malfunctions or something break apart or blow up or something. It's just keep it well oiled whenever you're going through the breaking in period." So I was like, "Oh, I'm glad you threw that piece of nugget out when I was leaving. And then I went back up to him. I like to ask a lot of questions. It might seem stupid, redundant, or whatever, but I like to know what I'm getting myself into and the risk that I'm facing. And my risk was my face being blown off. Instead, but I shot it, it felt like I got doused with a little bit of oil. I'm like, dear God, it was all over the side of my face. You can't tell, but you know, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun to shoot this gun. Now, bring it a little closer to you guys. I want your guys' input here. What do you think about this firearm? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think it looks good? What do you think I should do? Do you think I should add something to it? You probably can't really see it, but so let me know what you think about this here fire. Guys, that's gonna wrap it up. Y'all have a good one. And hopefully I can make another video in the near future pretty soon. And I think it's gonna be a video on a 500 round wrap-up review on the Smith & Wesson Governor. And also a 1,000 round review on the Glock 43. Stay tuned with me. I'll see you guys next time.